Hello, hello. Oh yes, perfect. Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. Like my heart is full. All of you, some of you I know from really way back. Some of you I'm very excited to meet. So yes, tonight is a really special night. So I'm just gonna give you a little brief again about what Cocktails Over Fashion is all about. Basically, it's a show that I created with the main objective of inspiring, informing, and challenging creative minds. And I feel like here in Ghana, or let's just say actually here on the continent, we have amazing, extremely amazing people, artists. And I feel like their voices sometimes are not really heard or they're not supported. And I feel like sharing all our troubles and our challenges, whether we want to be fashion designers or whether we want to be actors or whether we want to be, whatever in the fields of arts and culture, I feel like there's not a lot of information that's being passed along. So I figured, first of all, this space, front and back, I have to say is one of my favorite spaces in Accra. It's a members-only club, but it's not a members-only club because they want to be bougie. Honestly, it's a members-only club because it's celebrating African excellence. Everything that you see here has been done by over 40 artisans from the continent, from the African continent and the diaspora. So it's celebrating African excellence in its full glory, and I support that 100%. Tonight, I have an amazing guest, like really amazing. I know I say that all the time, but like she's really amazing. Her name is Anna Robertson, and
hello.
She is, please applaud, please, this is a time.
It's not necessary, but thank you.
And Anna is the founder of YEVU, which is a clothing brand, but even more than that, a social enterprise, and she's gonna tell us all about it. So I hope everybody has something to drink, because it's gonna be, we're gonna enjoy this, but we enjoy things a little bit more when we drink a little bit. So
or a lot. Just if you want to have shots, just do it over here. No one's gonna judge you. It's cool.
So obviously, we're gonna start with just basically Anna. Tell us a little bit about you personally. Who are you?
Okay. Hello. Thank you for the intro, Marie. I'll try and be challenging, inspirational, amazing. I don't know, all the other things tonight, to my best ability. Honest, I'll be very honest as well, so I hope you have some challenging questions to ask me as well. I started working in Ghana about 7 years ago in the, let's say, the international aid and development space. So I was here on a year contract in 2012, and I never had any intention to start a business. I never thought of myself as someone who could start a business. I'm not a designer. I'm probably starting off with all the bad stuff, but I'll get there. But I'm not a designer. I don't have a business background. I have like a politics background. I'd worked in international development for many years before I sort of came to Ghana on this job. And the idea for the business really just developed quite organically. And that was about 6 years ago. So had you asked me then, would I be sitting here having this conversation with all of these new scary faces tonight, I would have said absolutely no way. So, I feel honored to be here. So thank you so much for having me.
Your interest has always been in different models for social impact, funding, and how business and purpose could work together to create positive change. So this is obviously very important to you. And why does it seem evident to you that this, why do you feel like this is a direction, more specifically in Ghana, that this could be a direction that people should follow?
Well, I'll try and answer that a little bit more broadly initially, probably, which is, I suppose that when I came into the development space, I was quite intrigued with how funding affected the work that was carried out in certain contexts. I suppose on a fundamental level, my conversations and understanding of specific smaller issues, let's say, like things that can be dealt with on a micro level, are things like employment and providing sustainable jobs and employing women that are single mothers, and encouraging leadership in business spaces, and skill and technical skill and capacity building sort of programs within a job space that can actually lead to longer term financial independence. And for me, I saw that as like a tiny little drop in the ocean. But I mean, if a lot of businesses employed some more practices that really looked at, I suppose, not just their bottom line, but factored in their environmental and their human input a little bit more, then there's, you might be making a little bit less money a year, or there might be some more teething issues in the initial phases, but ultimately you can create like a sustainable. I believe that you can create a sustainable business model based on those principles.
Absolutely. How did you didn't have a background in fashion at all?
No, please.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like, this is the biggest question. Like, how did you start creating a clothing brand? I mean, a clothing line.
I hired people.
You delegated.
I know. I delegated really, really well. I mean, no. Well, yeah. No,
but
you're right.
How did it come about?
Terribly.
About? Like, how did YEVU get created? Like, what was YEVU? What is YEVU's story?
Okay.
I said that 5 times. I asked the same question 5 times.
How many margaritas have you had today? YEVU was basically born because I was in the right place at the right time, I suppose. Let's say that. We started the business because I met a couple of ladies who had a gigantic space in Jolu that had about 2 or 3 sewing machines in it. Lots of pattern cutting tables, and I developed a relationship with the woman who ran the space. And I'd already sort of thought to myself, I mean, the vibrancy, color, playfulness of the wax prints that are available from the wholesale marketplace would play a really would easily translate to, I suppose, the Australian lifestyle, which is the customer market that I'm familiar with. So I could be like, I was imagining my guy friends wearing like a kente cap or like a collared shirt or a short, kicking about in the summertime in Australia. And I thought, I think there's a viable business opportunity here, because as a Sydney-sider all the way over, like on a 40-hour indirect flight from here to Australia, like, we are quite isolated from what goes on in Africa, particularly West Africa. Most of our aid money and a lot of the work that we do is in Asia Pacific region. So we actually don't do much work at all in in Africa. So I thought that it was something that could be considered quite different in the market from a business perspective. Anyway, I found a space that literally looked like what I'd conceived in probably the coolest part of Sydney. So we just bumped in. We did like a small campaign shoot here. We put it out to some media agencies in Australia. They absolutely loved it. They were like, what is this? Like, where was this shot? And where? How? Yeah, like that. That's how I read it through the emails. But the opening night of the first store that we did, line out the door, like, we had nothing. The next day I got there, bit hungover, and there was like 5 items left to sell. And then people sort of were coming in, and I was like, I'm so sorry. This is terribly humiliating, but we have sold out of everything. And it wasn't like we had a huge amount to sell, but we had enough that I thought would sustain us for a couple of weeks there. So I came back to Ghana probably like a month after that.
Yeah. But I want people to know about a little bit about your brand, actually, a little bit about YEVU. So we're both wearing YEVU right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo!
So
looking
explain,
fine.
who is the YEVU woman and who is the YEVU man? Because it's unisex. It's a unisex brand.
Well, I mean, now we have a fairly, we have a bigger women's selection now. I mean, more men can wear dresses if they want to.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's actually, that's a good question. And I suppose at the moment, I can answer that as someone we sell 85% of our customer base is in Australia. So, I mean, I don't know how many people are familiar with Australia, but, for us, it's pretty much women between the ages of 25 and 40 who are confident, love wearing colours, want to shop responsibly, and sort of unafraid to stand out, I suppose.
But I think what's really inspiring with you, Anna, is and I'm going to say it, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but your brand is all female. I mean, it's female-led, right? Yeah. Your entire...
Yes.
Thank you. Can we just have a round of applause?
Oh, there's two men. That's not completely true.
I did that intentionally for you.
Yeah.
I did that intentionally for
Don't
you.
worry, we love men. It's just that women work better. We like women more.
And
Right,
actually,
Felicia?
And actually, we have Felicia, which I was just about to introduce. We have Felicia, who's going to come and join us in a little bit. She's the head of productions for YEVU, and she's beautiful, Kenyan.
Woo!
And Felicia's story is amazing, and you will tell us. I'm not gonna give out your story. But I really want you to explain, because I know you sent me a chart and everything, but I really want you to explain the importance for you to have an all-female-led clothing brand here in Ghana, and also what it means to you, and business-wise as well, how transparent you are and how that comes across, and how people can be assured that that's the case, and how do you make people aware of that?
Sure. I mean,
again, 5 questions.
we're not. I'll try and keep it short and snappy. I mean, the data tells you enough, right? I mean, 80% of people who are working in Ghana are working in the informal economy, and about 70% of the people who work in the informal economy are women. Those jobs are pretty much defined by total insecurity, financial insecurity, precarious working conditions, unsafe working conditions, sexual harassment, all of the things that, can expose people to situations that they can't get out of, and they don't have the financial means to either. So, a hand-to-mouth sort of lifestyle. So, I started off the business not necessarily with women at the front and center of the business. I mean, naturally, we were working in garment manufacturing, so a lot of the workers that we started working with on a sort of an ad hoc basis were women. A lot of them, we had a lot of men, especially from Togo. There's a big, tailoring sector in Togo, and a lot of Togolese come here looking for work. But it just sort of happened that the people that really seemed to want the work and who stuck around and worked their ass off and wanted to be part of the business and really cared about the work were the women. And most of those women were single mums. And that's because they had 3 or 4 mouths to feed by themselves, basically. So, there was a hunger for the work, and it became pretty apparent pretty quickly that there was a responsibility for us to move from a 1-1-1-1 sort of manufacturing system to effectively, building, and facilitating and running our own workspace where we could have complete control over how the work was done. It assured quality for our products and for our customers, but it also created a sense of community for the women that work for us.
So it sounds like you pull a lot from your background in development. Do you feel that that's helped?
Yes.
Sorry, that was a
No.
really odd question.
That's definitely helped, but also I think continuing studying. So continuing to understand. So doing my MBA in social impact has helped me to look at what new trends are and look at best practice for social enterprise. So sort of learning from other businesses that have are totally kicking ass, even if they're not in manufacturing. There was one guy that came in and spoke to us who runs a mattress recycling company, and it's the unsexiest thing to do. But they're literally doing incredible work in Australia because it's really hard to recycle mattresses. Anyway, FYI.
Do you feel sometimes you have to prove yourself because of the fact that you're Australian and you're working with African print, and do you feel sometimes you're stepping on eggshells?
Yeah, I mean,
definitely
definitely the white savior complex is something that needs to be discussed. I hope that the way that I run my business gives the people that we're working with the voice and the opportunity that, means that we're not exploiting anyone that is part of the process. So, I mean, it is a difficult conversation to have, but I think it's important. And I suppose the only thing that we can do is really relay how we operate and give voice to the people that are working for us and let them answer the questions, to be honest.
Yeah. Felicia, please come and join us, please. Because we're going to...
background, don't know the crack will.
We're now going to welcome Felicia. So Felicia, you didn't start as head of productions for YEVU. So please tell us how you started with the brand. I mean, actually, how did you meet Anna, and then how did you, get into the business?
Thank you. I'm very happy to meet you.
No, it's
Like I completed secondary school, and I was in mind of getting money to forward education.
Yeah.
But I've been trying because of my parents are not able to forward education for me. So we went to Joro, the house YEVU started. I was staying there, so I'm always been helping them, fixing buttons and cutting excess threads. So the idea came that I should learn the sewing. But then there was a certain lady, Hetty, who was running the business by then. So I decided to learn, and I paid some small amount of money with some prospectors, then I started. So when we was there, and Anna came to do some alteration with the dresses. Then after that, he decided to make something small.
Yeah.
Then when we was working, I was the only apprentice by then. They don't have apprentice. By at times goes on, YEVU was working yearly. So when we work, we break for 1 year before we work again. Due to that, the old workers stopped, and I was there alone. So the new workers, they came and meet me.
Yeah.
And I know how the YEVU work was, so I was teaching them.
Yeah.
And some of them too, they don't understand English, and when Anna talk, I have to interpret it.
So your
Which
interpreter
actually
as well.
deserves a separate round of applause, probably.
Interpreter as well. Yes. No, but now she's head of production, so you had to put yourself to school, right? Because you put yourself to school to learn, like, IT, basically. Right? To learn how to use a computer and everything.
Yeah.
So that's after you worked with YEVU for quite some time, and then you wanted to better yourself, and with some of the money that you got from YEVU, that's how you put yourself to school?
Yeah, please, yes. After we work with the two designers, I've been cutting patterns. Especially sometimes the cloth will come without pattern, so I have to cut it.
Yeah.
And sometimes too, and I'll call you, Felicia, I want dress like this, like that. A dress with elastic, with long sleeve, with this. So without having idea, you can't cut it. So, so you have to learn. And sometimes she's not here. You send the mattress. You call something star mattress. You send it to me. I have to use computers with it, so that's why I decide to.
Okay.
For that.
And last but not least, how has YEVU changed your life? Like, as in, what has it?
Yeah.
How has it changed your life?
It totally changed.
Yeah.
My life, not me alone, other workers too.
Yeah.
Because when the time we started, like us, we were sewing for the individuals. The wage, if you take the average wage, it was about 300 cedis. But after we start working with the YEVU for a while, it reached to the time the average was 2,000. So it's really, really changed our life. Yeah. Yeah, so, and a lot of people also learn some skills from us. So it's really, and anywhere I go, it makes me different.
Yeah.
Like the fashion, those who have been sewing, if I mess with them, it makes me different because my sewing is neat and perfect. So it makes me.
And also you're earning money, and it's your money,
This, yes.
and you can provide for your family,
I can do
and you can
everything.
go home
Oh, wait, I wanna say
and be like, yo, I'm doing it.
Not only provide, but Felicia is the breadwinner in the family, obviously. She's got four children. She just had twins maybe, a year ago. So, yeah.
It's amazing.
And Felicia, as sort of humble as she is literally like the engine that drives the machine here. Her ability to get shit done and do it well, and also keep the team together and happy is quite a feat. and I probably couldn't do it without her. So, yeah. But also, like, cooking lunch for our staff is something that they love. So Felicia's got a menu on the wall at the workshop with like Monday. I don't know what's Monday. Is it like okra stew?
Rice and soup.
A rice and soup. Tuesday. No, Wednesday is the day where it's like choose your own lunch. It's like everyone's favorite day. Anyway.
What do they want? I guess in a career. What do they want in a job? And how are you communicating kind of, I guess, the opportunities that they can have within the role? And how do you do it? How do you keep them interested? How do you keep them active?
One thing is, we brought especially those who completed JSS and then their parents don't have money to forward them. We are training them free. We buy the machines, providing everything. And we make sure that anything that I know, like the pattern cutting, how to use the machine, even how to cut freehand without pattern. Like, if you get to the time that you're not working for YEVU, you can establish your own business. And any style, you have to cut any style which can work closely. That's how I'm trained.
Basically, just do it.
Yeah. Well, and I suppose, yeah, like exactly like Felicia said, like focusing on training so that an individual can have long-term financial independence with or without working for YEVU directly.
And last but not least, we have so much talent in Ghana. Yeah. I mean, we have so much talent on the continent, but we have a lot of talent in Ghana more specifically. And I really, this is the informing part of the informing section of the talk. It's just that what if you had three things to say to any like emerging fashion designer in Ghana that wants to start his own like business, his or her own business or brand, what would those three things be? Yeah,
this is a question that I probably
I couldn't even talk.
But no, I got it. Look, it's a difficult question because primarily access to capital is challenging in Ghana.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to like give some inspirational bullshit, to be honest with you, about it, because there's no way that I would have been able to grow the business had it not been for access to loans that I was able to secure through my bank in Australia and through family when I needed it. So, I mean, we didn't take any investment in the company. It's been bootstrapped from the beginning. That's a challenge that's real.
Yeah.
And that's something that I hope changes for young people wanting to run businesses and SMEs in Ghana. And I think that's the first thing that needs to be overcome. I mean, the best way to overcome that is to start off super small. To start off small and just test the market. Don't try to do too many things at once. Like, just focus on what your purpose is, if there is one, or focus on what your UPS, your unique selling point, USP, your unique selling point is, and just focus on that. And don't try to bite off more than you can chew, because I've seen brands and other companies who are like, oh, we're doing all these things. And then it's like, well, you might be, but you're doing them all really badly.
Yeah.
Like, just do one thing really well. Yeah. And just nail it. And then get to know your customer really, really, really well. And that's been the beauty of running like 10 or 11 pop-up stores, is that I've been working in those stores every day. Like, I have been literally talking for 14 hours a day. Like, I can't talk at the end of the pop-up store. We've done stores for a week, we've done stores for 4 weeks. It's like an intensive process, but it lets you know exactly what's good about your product, exactly what's bad, and you get to, you're asked the challenging questions, and you get to have practice answering them. And if you can't answer them, then you change the way you're running your business. I don't know, that's probably my advice. Really?
Yeah, no problem. I want to thank everybody tonight for coming, and I hope that you were inspired and you were informed and you were challenged. And I more specifically want to thank Anna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Because I love you and I love everything you do,
Love
and I love YEVU. Thank you, Felicia, so much as well for sharing your story and for being here tonight. I want to thank, obviously, Front and Back, which is, as I said before, a place that I love and that really celebrates everything that we talked about tonight, I think, to the core. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and please, we're gonna have another one in 2 months, and please check out YEVU on Instagram, YEVU Clothing.
YEVU Clothing on Instagram and www.yevuclothing.com on the websites.
Exactly. And check out hashtag cocktails over fashion.
Yeah, do all of it.
And
It's
come
also.
here
Oh,
and
sorry.
have drinks and continue the night.
We're terrible together.
We're terrible.
We've got free scrunchies.
Oh, we've got free
So like, come.
scrunchies.
I know. Sorry, guys, to the men in the room. I mean, you can still get one for your sister. So like, they're in bowls. So just pass them around, and you can take one. So
No,
pass.
no,
You can
I said
pass
pass
the
it a-
bowls around.
pass it around.
Choose the print. I think there's 4
And
prints to choose from.
please, the night is not over. We have an amazing DJ, this
Woo!
beautiful lady right here.
Oh,
And
yay.
she's
Hi.
like putting tunes for the rest of the night. Cocktails are served. Everything is great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
everybody.
Marie. Thank you, guys.
you.
Thank you.
Question.
Amoto, Jimo Mokomo Dodo. Amoto, Jimo Mokomo. Now Jimo Akayankuno Nado. Yankuno Nado, Yankuno Nado. Agbano no the kakwe.